Hello, this is the recording for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade music this week because you all have something very similar to do. I know the 7th and 8th graders were still working on part 2 of our Soundtrack of My Life project, but in the classroom, it's taking them a little bit longer to work on this. And so I'm not going to assign part 3 this week. So if you're still working on part 2, go ahead and do that. But this is the time of year that we start that tradition. We always do it every year. This is something new for our 6th grade distance learners. Every year in 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, it's Grammy time, when it's time to have the Grammy Awards on TV. And it's kind of a fun tradition that we have, kind of like at the beginning of the year when we have that Name That Tune competition, where it's not part of your grade, but it's just something fun to do. And you listen to a little bits and pieces of music, and then you have to see if you can guess who it is, who the performer is, what the name of the song is. You get some points for it. There's prizes, things like that. And we do that with Grammy Awards also. The Grammy Awards are on TV and on Sunday night, January 31st. And so what we do this time of year, and this is going to be printed out, or you won't be printed out, but this is in a Google, it won't be a Google Doc probably. It'll probably be an attachment that you need to print yourself. This is going to be an attachment for you in your assignment this week. You don't have to do any homework, but these are 18 categories of Grammy Awards that are going to be awarded on the evening of January 31st. And you are going to predict and you're going to vote. 7th and 8th graders, you've done this before, so you know what's going on. You're going to vote for who's going to win in this category and who's going to win in this category, in this category, in this category. So make sure you have your name on it. Make sure that you take a look at the category and circle one of these choices. The people in the music industry are the people that have looked at all of the songs that were composed or written or recorded this past year, and they have decided these are the best choices in that category, in those genres for the year. And so they have put them in kind of like a Hall of Fame. People in the sports world, the Hall of Fame people, there's people in the committee make the big choices of who should be in the Hall of Fame this year and who should be next year and stuff like that. Very same thing, different genres. There are 3 pages. And so be sure you print these out and go ahead and vote for who you think is who's going to win this year. And again, I tell everybody every year, you're not going to know every single artist and every single song that's on here, but guess, because sometimes the people that guess are the people that do really, really well. And you're not going to be in the room to figure out, to count, it really won't be a contest for you that much, but it's just kind of fun. It's a kind of a fun thing to do and see how you do. Don't do you're not supposed to do any homework. You're not supposed to do your research and go look online and things like that and read what other people predict. It's just fun for you. So make sure you fill out, circle one prediction of who you think will win this category. This one, this one, this one. And then flip the page, and then there's lots of them. And we're going to have a Zoom next week with all of the 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade kids that are doing distance learning right now. And I will read the winners for you. And then we'll just see who of the people of 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade distance learners who got the best score for that. Now, if you are in 6th grade, I'm also going to attach to you in your weekly lesson plan this sheet, which explains what Grammys are, what the awards are, what they're for, how you get to be a Grammy winner, things like that. And the 7th and 8th graders, we read this article and we learned about it when you were in 6th grade. And so I'm not going to have you do that. But if you were a 6th grade distance learner, I want you to read this article. And then I want you to write down 5 things that you learned about the Grammy Awards from this article and send that back to me. So that's your job for this week. These are the Grammy Awards. There's a picture right there, right here. And the article, again, if you don't remember from 7th and 8th grade, if you're 7th and 8th grade, you don't remember, these are little tiny miniature. They're really not that big. They're you could hold them in your hand, but that's the trophy that you get if you win a Grammy. And they're little miniature replicas of gramophones, which once upon a time, before we had CD players and before you had iPods and before you had CDs and even 8-tracks and cassettes and things like that, they didn't have these to plug into the wall. You'd have to crank them. They're like old-fashioned antique thingies. And that's how you would play an album. That's how you would play a long play song, long play album of a song. And this is kind of like this little bell up here, because there were no speakers. The bell is kind of like instruments. Like the bigger the bell of an instrument, that's kind of meant to be like a speaker system for you, because they don't have speakers. And so if the sound is coming out of this great big bell, then it fills the room. If you didn't have that great big bell on top of it, then you wouldn't be able to hear it very well. So that the purpose of that great big bell is to give it volume and to spread the sound around. Just like instruments, not different than a tuba or a trombone or a French horn or a trumpet. That's the same logic behind those. So this week, we don't really have an assignment. You have, I'm going to set a Zoom time for next week. And so have your answers with you, have your Grammy nominations or your predictions of who you think is going to win the Grammy Awards. Again, we can't talk about this, and I can't tell you the answers until after January 31st, because I don't even know the answers. And so your assignment for this week is to print out that Grammy nomination list, answer who you predict is going to be a winner in each of those categories. And at the Zoom meeting next week with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders together, we will talk about who won. And we'll see who had the best score. All the winners of the Grammys, we'll announce that. And then we'll figure out of the three grades of kids who are doing distance learning, who had the best chance or the best score predicting the correct answers. So that's it for this week. Kind of a fun week, not a lot of big homework. 6th grade, remember, you have to write 5 facts that you learned about the Grammys from that piece of paper. And we'll see you again next week. Bye.